So we're just gonna
Let's jump right in.
roll right into Broken Trail, which is out on
December
December
9th.
December 9th. I
Mm-hmm.
have the page up. Out a few weeks if you're listening to this as this episode debuts, but go get your pre-orders in. I'll tell you that right now. I enjoyed it. Very harrowing.
Good.
Very
I'm glad.
yeah. Lots so many injuries,
Yeah,
so much stabs, so many stabbings. There's lots of stabbings.
it's very stabby.
It is a very, I was, you know what? There was one significant stab and I went, that's probably it for the stabbings. Nope. No, there
Now
was,
I really, you're gonna have to tell me like off camera which stabbing that
uh,
was.
okay. Yeah. I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
I'm going to dance around spoilers. I usually do.
No.
I think I say that as I have been editing and releasing more episodes, I say the word spoilers so much, but I do try and dance around them. I want people to read the book. Um, Lots of questions. My first question is about the setting, about the woods, about being lost in the woods. And there's a line you have. It's relatively late in the book, but time was irrelevant here, and I think that kind of clicked something in my head because it made me like this doesn't feel like, I don't know. I feel like I am different than a lot of people because I grew up in the woods. I don't feel I'm never afraid in the wood. Like I go out, I never feel like I'm lost. I never feel like I'm afraid. But
I feel like that's dangerous. Like maybe
it
that's like
probably
a
is.
false sense of security. The woods are dangerous. You
They
know
can.
this,
I mean,
right?
they certainly can be. But I mean, I think
Yeah.
that your book, it sets it. I went like, but this, it made me it tricked my brain into thinking, oh, I'm lost with Clara, with the party because it feels very Silent Hill esque. It feels like a labyrinth.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like, and I think like it worked on me because I wouldn't normally. I'd be like, oh, whatever. Yeah, you follow the creek. Yeah, water works, right? Trees, you find landmarks, but you can't.
Mhm.
You can't.
Yeah. I mean, a
Um,
lot of trees look the same. Like, you need to be really good at trees if you're gonna use them as landmarks.
really good at trees. Maybe I'm good at trees. But is it is the this labyrinth, is that to mimic kind of Clara's mental state? To
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I very much saw the woods kind of as a metaphor for everything she was going through, and I wanted to, like, psychologically put her through hell while also, like, physically putting her through hell, and scary forests are a really good way to do that. I mean, I feel like sometimes the inside of my head is like a scary forest, so it was an easy step.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's the can't see the forest for the trees. Like we have all those easy idioms like at a
Yeah.
moment's notice because of that. Um and also I like, and kind of partnering with that, the harrowingness I already mentioned. It's the threat. There's like this always threat surrounding them, and it's easy. I think Claire in particular, like they think, oh, I'm in camp, I'm safe. And there's a line later on where, what sharks waited outside the false safety of this fire,
Mhm.
which I love that line. And I really, again, that also clicked like, there's nothing safe
Yeah.
in this. And that is like, you're escalating tension with those constant threats. Was that, I'm like, I was trying to really find a way to phrase this question, but like, was that like, as you were writing it, was that a like concerted effort to layer in threat throughout?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I actually, like, made a list of I'm an avid camper, and I was like, "I'm just gonna make a list of, like, every bad thing that could happen while you're camping." Like, obviously, like, your food, I mean, spoilers, I guess, but like your
Well,
food gets messed with.
yeah.
It's rainy the whole time. Like stuff happens to your tent. Like, I was just like, what? Like, how many bad things can I come up with that could happen camping? Um, my worst nightmare camping is a flooded tent. So obviously that makes an appearance in the book too. So yeah, it was a concerted effort. But I want to go back to what you were saying about like the false sense of safety.
Hmm.
Because I'm glad that like you kind of got that because I really wanted to convey it. I feel like camping is so cozy and like you feel very like safe and cozy. Like there's a fire, the tent is all small, and you have sleeping bags. But really, when you're in a tent, you have like less than a millimeter between you and like wilderness full
Yeah.
of predators. Like, and so I wanted to really emphasize that like there is no safety out there, really.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's easy to trick yourself. It's easy to again go, oh, I'm safe because I'm on. You're in a park theoretically. You're on a trail. You're like, but you're really not. Uh, there's still I don't know constant danger. The wilderness is wild.
Yeah.
Which I don't know that it's easy to. I certainly if you're a city mouse, it's easy to kind of go, oh, we're in a park, we're fine. Well, no, there's lots of dangers.
Yeah.
Um, so speaking of the river, I mentioned the river.
Hmm.
Seems like like it becomes like this symbol of peace, of and of letting go of
Hmm.
control. Is it about is that about Clara abandoning control or the idea of control?
Yeah, I think so. And also just like, yeah, like letting go of control and trusting in herself, really, like stopping from trying to like, yeah, trying to control everything and trying to push against her like base instincts, like basically to trust herself, like
Right.
just let it go and good things will happen. um and maybe they do. um
I'm not. Hey, no spoilers.
yeah.
Um, and her like there's it feels like that's connected to her motherhood, right? To
Yeah.
having her kids getting older. Even it feels like there is a certain aspect of that where she sees Tilly, her
Hmm.
the elder daughter, like is about to be on the verge of leaving the house, and it feels like
Yeah.
it's a part. And like it's not the only change in her life, but it
But I
feels
mean,
like
it's full of uncertainty. I mean, like parenthood in general, but obviously those transition times and like it's full of uncertainty and also like a lack of control. Like you can't control everything that your kids are doing, especially as they're older, especially as they're like about to leave the house. And that can be really terrifying because like unexpected things happen. Um, and the unexpected can be scary. So yeah, so
uh,
it's kind of a metaphor for that. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it feels very I mean, I was editing the episode that just came out, which is also like I don't know. Did you have I this is a similar question I asked to Rebecca Baum about her book, The Brood, which is again is also a wilderness survival story to a certain extent, different contexts. But was that in mind at all, the survival aspect of it because of the camping?
You mean like the survival of day-to-day life paralleled with like
I mean,
survival in the
certainly
wilderness?
that's a part of it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like kind of like I said in the beginning, like the woods are like a metaphor for all of that, like psychological chaos maybe, and
Yeah.
like for the unexpected or scary things that happen in real life, like sometimes just living your day-to-day life, even if you're not like fighting for it in a forest that wants to kill you, it can still be really scary. Like you don't know what's around the next bend. There's all these other characters in it that do unexpected things, and like sometimes it can feel like you've lost the trail sometimes.
And it
Yeah.
feels is the and like Clara, it seems like she's doing battle with her, I don't know, her trust in
Yeah.
others, in even in the world in
Yeah.
general,
She's
but
not
it's
in a good place at the beginning
no.
of the book or at any part of the
No.
book, really.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's moments I feel like she, you know, how did you I have a million little highlights of this, so it's very difficult to find the one I'm looking for, but it feels like she manages to grab that, that inner faith in herself even.
Yeah, she gets her head on, as her
Yeah,
dad
that's
says.
what it yes, gets her head
Yeah.
on. I literally highlighted that. I'm like,
Yeah,
I really
it's
like
like,
that a lot
"All
too.
right, finally." I think it's, like, at least halfway through the book where finally she's like, "Okay, maybe I need to do something."
I mean, you have to make it feel earned. It has
Yeah.
to you can't have a character I mean, she goes through she goes through it. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would it's better for to make it too hard than too easy. Like it should be a hard fought struggle.
Mhm.
Did you, as you were writing it, was there like, did you add in? Because I wrote a book where it's like I added one of my first book actually, but it's like I went in my revisions. I was like, my character doesn't get hurt enough, so I added in her getting more beat up. Was there extra trauma thrown in any like steps along the way?
Actually, I think I might have, like, taken out some trauma.
Oh, okay.
Um, I do remember one of my, like, good writing friends and beta readers, or maybe alpha, we'll call her an alpha reader. She said it in such a funny way, and I can't remember, but she was like, "You really need to be careful of, like, having your main character get, like, too beat up, because, like, at a certain point, she would just be, like, dead or, like, incapacitated." Like, she's like, "You need to make it believable." So yeah, there was a bit of fine tuning
Finessing, right?
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Clara.
Okay. That is
Um,
always that's like the mechanical part of my brain. I'm like, just like, well, it's like that you want to be on the edge the entire story. You want her right
mhm.
on the edge of, survival.
Yeah,
Uh I mean, humans are very hardy. We can
it's
persist through
true.
really bad stuff for a long
Yeah.
time.
I actually Can I go on a quick
Yeah,
tangent?
go.
Okay, and, oh, I just realized it's about a book that I can't remember the name of right now.
It's
Crap.
okay.
But so there's a kind of nonfiction, like, historical book about this ship, and the name of the book is the name of the ship, and I can't remember it. And it
Okay.
was like in the 1800s or something. It set out from England and it got shipwrecked down at the bottom of South America. And these dudes, like, well, not all of them, obviously, but they survived for like months on nothing in the freezing cold. And then, like, the survivors ended up making like a raft out of basically nothing, like rotted boards from their old ship. And they sailed the raft like all the way back to safety. And I was like, how? Like, I can barely survive outside in the winter without my warm coat. Like, I get very whiny. How did these guys survive for months? But yeah, I remember thinking, like, wow, like humans are capable of more than we give ourselves credit for.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't hurt your head or
Yeah.
your spine,
Then you can survive anything.
you can go for a long time. It's like I think of Reservoir Dogs. I think of
Mhm.
was it Tim Roth? He's
Yeah.
bleeding out from
Speaking of, like, hurting a character so much that you're like, "You should be dead."
yeah. I mean, by the time you're like, he's still alive. Wow, he's still going. But I mean, I feel like it is right on the edge where you're like, how? How
Yeah,
does he make it? But I mean, I that's what I want, really, and especially in a horror story. It's
yeah,
more typically like I'm fine with. I think I could stretch my credulity a little bit, where I'm like, oh,
yeah.
they're hanging on. And there's the supernatural elements of this
Mhm.
that you're not going to quantify that. It's not like a video game where it gives you 10 plus HP or something, but
Yeah, no.
it but it will you could the reader, I certainly was like, oh, well, it's giving her a little extra, a little bit of juice
Yeah.
to keep going. Um, there's a lot of, it feels like there's a lot of questions about perpetuating. I don't know, not even like there is certainly perpetuating fear and trauma and
Mhm.
trying to avoid that, but also like seeming like like especially with those unnamed assailants
The
in the
villain
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Um
the rest of them, the villain
yeah,
and their crew, yeah.
yeah, yeah. The it feels like it's even more about perpetuating like more of a patriarchy, right? Like
Yeah.
a domineering patriarchy. Is that like is that right? Am I
Yeah,
getting
that
a
was
good read on?
intentional. Like, I
Yeah,
definitely wanted that. I mean, it's no mistake that most of the people in the book are females,
right.
um, and females who have existed in a patriarchy and therefore sort of have that slime on them. And that they're most of them are like desperately trying to shed in a variety of ways, depending on which character it is. I did include like one male character who I hope is very likable because, I
I'm not gonna I'm gonna tell you off air how he destroyed me with that. But
yeah.
yes, but yeah, I mean it's even like I don't know, it feels like there's that echo with her ex-husband.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
cuz you don't meet him really. You hear like
But he's definitely like
he's
there,
floating. It feels like
yeah,
he's looming over everything.
in her choices
Yeah.
and all of that. Yeah. And
Yeah.
even how her kids relate to her and how her friend relates to her. Like,
Yeah.
he's
I mean it's
definitely
that when
present.
it's especially with characters that are like when you have I don't know that friend circles, right? They tend to merge and overlap as you get
Mhm.
older, and you can't just disconnect
Yeah.
relationships easily like that. Um, I, I, Juliana,
Mhm.
uh,
Yes.
yeah, it's more.
That's
I'm,
it. That's the
yeah,
sentence.
I mean, it's. I don't want again. It's me trying to like tread lightly.
Yeah.
Um, I'll say that was there ever, let's say, more to like the source of that family, to that to those to the supernatural stuff in that
Mhm.
story? Was there feathering in that? Because it feels like there's like a very you use a very light touch, which I appreciate. I'd prefer not. I don't need lore dumps about how supernatural systems work, but was there a feathering of that in there?
There was, I mean, interestingly, I think with that, I did a lot more writing outside of the book because I was like, I need to figure this out, what's going on. And some of that got put in the like journal entries, but there
Yeah,
was a lot more of that. But yeah, like you said, I didn't like the main story is about Clara and
yeah.
what she goes through with her family. Um, and the other lore is super important, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't writing like two books at once and
Yeah.
then confusing people. So yeah, like I was pretty intentional with how much I put in, and I hope it was enough. Like obviously, like
I
my
mean, I
readers.
understood it. I really I like those journal entries, but I do think that they were it felt the right amount. Like,
Mhm.
and I know there's been so much of that late level. I guess specifically just people I've had on this podcast so far, where it's like a lot of books coming out where they have these where it's like found journal entries found like to intersperse
Yeah.
adding authenticity to the world, giving a little bit of just a minor context to things.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it's such a fun way to put it in, especially when you have like what is basically a single point of view book, and it's hard to get into the lore if your single point of view is like very separate from
yeah,
whatever the backstory is. Um, it's funny because after I wrote this book, I went on to write a novella that also has like kind of like similar intermittent journal entries that it's a totally different basically I mean it's still horror but it's like a completely different kind of book. um so I wrote that and then I also started another novel that alternates like two main points of view and then a third one is a girl's letters to her mother, and I was like maybe this is like my thing now, like I just like journals and letters
It might
and
be.
yeah.
I
So
mean, that's if it's your thing, it's your thing. You can't wherever you go, there you are.
yeah.
That's the more I write, that's the more I'm like, I'm me, man. I really am me. I can't escape this.
Yeah,
Whatever I do, I'm me. But I mean, I think that's ultimately like,
good, it's good to
yeah,
have like a
you want to have a signature,
yeah
right? You
exactly
want to be recognizable to a certain extent. You want to don't just be generic writer person. They can read your
exactly.
books and know who you are. That's it for the first segment. I could probably talk about. I mean, almost every book I read, I could talk to people for like hours. But we're gonna move on to
Moving on.
the second act, which is broader questions, broader, more bookish writing questions. And your first question is from my last guest, who is Michael Wehunt. Um, and his question, I'm going to ask you for a question for our next guest at the end of this.
Okay.
But his question is, what has been your one daily practice that helps keep your writing momentum going, if you have one?
I'm glad you added if I have one,
Yeah.
because I'm really like, you know,
Work. It doesn't, I will even amend it. It doesn't have to be daily, but a writing
I'm
practice.
like, I don't do anything daily. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so chaos. Like, I'm not even chaotic. I am just
Just
chaos.
chaos, pure chaos.
Yes.
Yes.
Like,
Avatar of chaos.
yeah. Um, but I've actually, it's interesting you asked me that now because for October, I'm doing like a writing challenge and in this writing group I have, and you can make your goal like whatever you want. It's sort of like supposed to be like the NaNoWriMo or
Right.
whatever, but
Yeah.
it's like you make your goal as easy or as hard as you want, and it can even be like I'll edit 10 minutes a day or something like that. So mine was I need to open one of my documents, like I'm writing a few things right now. I need to open one of them and write at least one word every day in October.
Okay.
So I'm happy to say I've been doing a lot more than one word every day. But it's actually like it's working really well for me because it's like I don't feel like I did try to do like NaNoWriMo a couple times where it's like I'm gonna write 2,000 words today, but then like I have a job and I have kids and I have all this other stuff going on, and then it's like 10 p.m. and I'm like, all right, 2,000 words, let's
Yes.
go.
Pump it out. Let's go.
Yeah. So it's like just being able to give myself like a manageable goal of like sit down, open the document, write one word, and usually one word turns into like 500, like not
Yeah.
2,000, but like I did have a couple 2,000 word days, but like so doing that I think has I'm going to keep doing it past October and the end of the challenge because I think that has really helped me. So
I
maybe that's
mean,
my one thing.
like that's getting just saying, "Oh, I only need one word," gives you that freedom to like say, not there's no pressure of like, "Oh, I need to
Yeah.
do this much." I can just, well, I've opened up and honestly, that's sometimes half the battle. It's just like sitting down and opening a thing
Yeah.
and it's there and you're like, "Oh, okay. Let's start.
Yeah, and
I
you're
can
like,
do
"Oh, yeah, I
something."
do have an idea," like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, let's write
Um,
something.
I think the other thing about it is, like, when I was trying for, like, 2,000 words a day, I wouldn't physically sit down with my computer, even in my down moments, because 'cause I'd be like, "Oh, like, the kids are coming home in 20 minutes, and obviously I'm not gonna write 2,000 words in 20 minutes, so why start at all?" Or like, "Oh, I have to do this in, like,
Yeah.
15 minutes." But, I mean, I can write one word in 5 seconds, so even like if I have a tiny bit of time, I'm like, oh yeah, sit down, open it up, do a little bit, and then yeah, it makes it
That's the
easier.
thing I wish I need to be better at is the like, "Oh, I only have 25 minutes." So? write for 25 minutes then.
Yeah.
Don't say, oh, well, I would like 2-hour chunk of time to write, so I can't write it all.
Yeah.
No, that's not an excuse, Robbie. Uh,
we've all used that excuse, so we're all guilty.
yeah, I mean, it's like the dream of like when you get those big chunks of time. Like today is my first. I've had that today for like the first time in like 3 weeks, and I wrote. And I'm like, oh, this is great, but I could have written more words if I just was willing to do in 15-minute increments or whatever.
Yeah.
Um. So let's see. This is a question I ask everybody: who's a writer more people should be reading?
Okay.
You can
Um,
give me a bunch if you want. It
all
doesn't have
right.
to be just one.
A writer more people should be reading. Okay, I don't know how to pronounce her name exactly. I have two whose names I don't know how to pronounce really well.
Perfect.
Um, but there's Zoya Stage who wrote Baby Teeth. I think is her
Oh,
most
right.
recent
Yeah.
one. Which interestingly I haven't read Baby Teeth, but my favorite of hers is Wonderland. If you're writing her name down, it's Zoje and then Stage, as you would imagine. Um, so yeah, she is one of my favorite authors. And then E.K. Sathu, that's an Sathue. I think it's Sathu. Sathu. She wrote Youth Juice, and I think has something else coming out soon. But Youth Juice was like crazy good. So yeah, that's another big recommend from me. And then I just finished why can't I think of the name of the book? House of Idol by Delilah Dawson, I think. So she's now after Guillotine and House of Idol, she's like on my auto buy list. Um, yeah, and then also Tanya Pell, who wrote.
She's in literally my next episode. So
Are you
start
serious?
the
I
one that's
love
coming out
Tanya.
when we're recording this. It'll be out already for anyone listening to this podcast. You
Oh
can
my
go back and
goodness!
listen to. You can
Yay!
go
Okay,
back to listen to
so
that
go
one.
back and listen
Yeah,
and read
if they
her
haven't
book.
already. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did her new book, and it's very good.
yeah.
Uh,
It's also beautiful with the sprayed edges
yeah,
and
so, I mean, I was like literally weird. We even talked about that. We talked. I'm like, this cover is so good.
yeah.
So gorgeous. Um, what's the best piece of advice you followed?
Um, I'm gonna sound like a broken record actually, but the best
That's
piece
fine.
of advice I followed is to do writing sprints. So like short chunks of time, sit down and write for that chunk, and stay focused and then take a break.
I
Yeah.
mean, that's perfect. Easy.
Yeah.
This is a new question. You're the guinea pig for this one.
Exciting.
What's your favorite and least favorite thing about your own writing?
I have to think about that one. At least the least favorite thing, because I'm like, there's a lot.
I mean, that's why I do both. I don't want just. I think any writer would be like immediately they could pick out the thing they think they don't like about their writing, but
Yeah.
the favorite thing as well. I want counterpoint.
Yeah. My favorite thing, I think I like to think that I write pretty believable characters. Like I try to make them pretty well rounded. So yeah, I think that's what I like when I read my books. I'm like, oh, I really like this character, or I'm like, oh, I really do not like this character, and like that's the desired visceral reaction I was going for. So I'm like, well, good success. Like Clara and I would not be friends. Just for
No,
the
I mean,
record.
I would also not probably be friends with
Yeah,
Clara. She's a
yeah,
mess. She's a mess. I
yeah.
mean, I mean, I don't want to say that at the end of the book she's in a better place, but
Like literally, yeah.
yeah,
She's
literally.
where she needs to be at the
Right.
end.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then a thing I don't like about my writing is I am a pantser. Well, I'm like I plot a little bit more now, but I plot like just like 5 steps ahead. I can't do like a whole book. Um and I really wish I could because I feel like it takes me longer to get where I'm going because like two things. I have to revise a lot. Like when I change something in the future, I'm like, oh no, I need to go fix that all the way through. And also because now I lost my train of thought. Oh, I know. Because when I get to the end of those 5 steps, which I planned ahead, sometimes I will go and plan the next 5 steps, and other times I'll be like, no, I don't know where this is going. And then I like set it aside for like indefinite amounts of time. So I have a few novels that are at like 30 to 50,000 words that I'm like, I don't know where we're going. Yeah.
I mean, is it you've tried to like make full outlines and it just doesn't happen?
Yeah, I mean, I've never felt like I experienced writer's block like when I'm drafting, but like when I'm like, okay, how does the story end? It's just like blank. Like,
I mean, it might just be the way
I
your
think it's
brain
just my
goes. Yeah, like I'm a pretty I outline pretty heavily for the most part,
I'm
d-
jealous.
depending on the project. But I mean, I it is not usually not a big like I don't certainly don't run into blocks with it. I just consider it writing. Like it's still
Yeah.
like it's not too different from me drafting, really. But I don't but I in counterpart to you, I would say that sometimes I wish that I was I could pants because I really can't. If I try and pants, my brain just says, "Nope, you can't. You got to know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, man. You got to need to know the road ahead to write." And I just write. My writing comes to a crawl, and I'm like, there's sometimes there is or like it feels. I know I've read books that are pantsed, and I go, the trajectory of it feels more naturalistic.
Oh,
It
interesting.
it feels more, or lived in. It feels like
Like it's been revised like 35,000 times because the author did
well,
it.
I know it's still a part of it. I mean, it's like it's more that feels like there is like sometimes I feel like I maybe it's just because it's my book, but I feel like I can see that road, see the
Mhm.
road that I laid down and then paved on top of, and it feels like sometimes if I had, and I certainly allow if I stumble upon some character that's more
The little
interesting or a
side
path, I
thing.
will swerve off, but there is I don't know. I think that's again the grass is always greener. That the nature where like
Yeah.
I could if I was a different way, would my book be
Now
better?
now I'm curious, like, could you tell that Broken Trail was essentially pantsed?
Uh I don't it's to like my instinct was to say that it was kind of somewhere in the middle. Like it felt
Oh, probably true.
like
Yeah.
and like which is sometimes I do as well, like where it's like I live, a lot of times recently I leave like the last 5 chapters empty. Like I have story beats, but I don't have like specifics and I kind of let it
Mhm.
meander that far. But it feels like I don't know. It's also I think it was a little difficult with this book because it's in the wilderness and it's labyrinthine and like it's maze like I think
Anyway,
intentionally, right? So it's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
so when she's wandering around and getting lost and finding stumbling upon things, it's like, well, you can plan for like sometimes that's even harder to make a book feel like a maze
but
while
not feel
also
really boring.
yeah, exactly. So but
Yeah.
it I mean it
I
as
still I still wonder about that part where she's wandering lost, like, not to give too much away, but by the landslide and stuff, and I'm
yeah.
like when the first time I wrote that, I was like, "Oh, man, like, this is literally me walking through this story and being like, I don't know what's gonna happen next." I mean, I revised it a lot since then, but I was like, "In this moment, Clara is me, and we are both lost."
I mean, I was actually like, "Oh, well, it is a departure from the camp." So
Mhm.
I was right in
And that
there.
was intentional.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
Like, I mean, I feel like the book certainly moves at pacing was fine with me. I don't know. I think everyone's taste is so radically
Yeah.
different. And there's also times I don't know, this is the top of my head because I was at a book club event for one of my books last night, and they were like they and it's a slasher, so it starts off with a kill, and then it's a little slow as we establish characters, and they move to like the actual setting of the book and all that stuff, and then like I and they and like it didn't hurt my feelings, but they're like it felt a little ponderous, and so well, I'm like I'd rather I mean, that's a choice on my part. I'd rather it be like we're meeting characters, getting, development of them and knowing who they are. There's not
Yeah,
it's easy to throw like it feels like you can just like when in bad horror movies where they just throw cats at
especially,
they just
yeah,
throw
but like,
cats at the camera. I'm like, I don't want that.
yeah, especially with this slasher though, because each character, like there is that whole cast of characters, and you want the reader to feel a certain thing about each character, because then you need to feel a certain thing about each of them when they get killed off in the slasher, you know? So there is that like build up in the
Right.
beginning.
And it's not hard to artificially include like I can like, oh, it's a cliffhanger. Oh no, are they going to make it? Well, of course they're going to make it as chapter 3. I'm not going to kill all the main characters at once in chapter 3. So why would I include a fake jump scare or whatever, like a false cliffhanger just to there'll be plenty of that later on. And I think like in your story, it's like there are times where it is okay for the book to slow down and let us think about the character for just a second. Like
Yeah.
it's not forever. It's not like it's not Tolstoy. It's not like we're just sitting, for 100 pages in one place. So it's that thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it can't be can't be action all the time.
No, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that's more of a just more modern reader expectations of people who
I do
want
think so.
just
Yeah.
constant movement. I'm like, not most books aren't built that way. Like they're not
No.
built to be like you have to let like yeah, there's questions and mystery and that stuff is there, but it's not always going to be back and
Yeah.
forth running
Sometimes
and
you can be in somebody's head, or letting a character arc develop slowly. Like
yeah,
sometimes you need to slow down.
letting
So
things breathe a little bit.
yeah.
What was your gateway horror media?
Oh, I love this story actually. And it's fun because I went to there was like the Powerhouse of Horrors like literary Halloween party in Brooklyn this past weekend, and I went as one of the Shining twins. Because that's my origin story. So when I was 7, my mom had this like crazy friend of hers that lived out in a trailer on a lake in the middle of like nowhere, Pennsylvania. And she had a daughter who was just a few years older than me, like maybe 10. And so my mom and this other mom were maybe a little similar to Clara, actually. And they were like, they were like, we're going to go get groceries 30 minutes away. So we'll be back in an hour and a half. You kids just chill here. And so we did. And so this older girl put on The Shining, and I watched it because I wanted to be cool, and also I was like too terrified to move off the couch or like into another room. I was just like, ah. And for a year at least after that, I could not be in a room by myself. And I was also afraid of like I could go in an elevator, but I was afraid of waiting in the like the elevator lobby with the closed elevators,
Yeah.
because I was like, the blood's gonna come, and I would just stand there like, open the doors, open the doors. And I really think that that was like I was terrified, obviously, and it kind of scarred me, but I was also like, this is a little bit fun to feel that way. And so then I like grew into someone who really appreciates horror. So
As a 7?
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that's a little too young,
yeah,
I would say, for The Shining.
they're way too young. Like
Yeah.
I'm still too young for The Shining. I watched it, I think, last year again for like the umpteenth time, and I was like, this movie still scares me. It's so scary. I know it's controversial, like between the book versus the movie, but I
Um,
love
I
the
mean,
movie.
they're very different from each
They
other.
are.
I I love the book Shining. I think I love everything about the movie Shining except for Jack Nicholson. I
Yeah,
don't I don't like I agree with Stephen King in that. The one I don't agree with any of his other critiques. I think the movie works in every other regard, but
yeah,
Jack Torrance is not a raving lunatic when the story starts.
yeah,
He's a troubled man, but he's not a psychopath. And then, but
yeah.
Jack Nicholson. He's crazy
Just
from the
went
moment you
full
see him.
psycho. He was like, "This is me.
But
No
it
art
is
needed."
but
I'm like,
he is scary. That is true still, and especially at 7 with all the like the weird hotel and the blood and everything.
yeah. It was. I
Um,
mean, that the movie is like visually
it's gorgeous. It's so beautiful
scary.
and
Yeah, I mean, it is
striking.
gorgeous, but like I feel like the visuals are part of what is so scary about it.
I mean,
And
especially when you're 7, you have no context for it.
27, yeah, and then it, like, sticks in your head, like, the blood coming out of the elevators, like, that visual is terrifying when you're 7, like, what? Yeah.
Um, who are you jealous of?
That's a good question too. Right now, I don't feel jealous of anybody.
That's okay.
I
You
don't
can
know.
say no. You can say I'm not.
No, I'm sure I am jealous of someone, but I, like, literally can't think of anyone right now. I'm jealous of people who can write books really fast, maybe?
I mean, that's fair.
It feels like a cop out answer, but,
It's
like,
not
yeah,
a cop. You can.
it took
I'm
me a
not.
long time.
I'm not gonna hold your feet to the fire. I mean, I mean, it's a similar. I do write quickly. Books fast,
Well, I'm
but
jealous of you. Okay, there's the
well, well, but I coming back to that other the pants first the plotting thing. I sometimes go, is that good though? Maybe it's better if I were to write slower. Maybe my books, I don't know. Maybe this is a million factors where maybe the book would be better. Maybe I'd have a better understanding of things. I don't know.
You can't get in that spiral though and be like,
I
"Maybe my
well,
book would be better if this or if that or if
I
this."
okay. This is turning into my therapy session. Because you're right. I agree
You
with
can
you.
Venmo me payment for
Okay. I will whatever I have. Let's see. I got paid. Someone bought books from me using Venmo the other day, so I'll just send you the the little bit of money left in there. Um. Uh. Did I say that was the last question for this segment? Did I say that out
No,
loud, or
I
did
don't
I
think
just think
so.
it? If I
I think
did, I'm
you
going to ask you one more question.
okay.
What was the last book you read that evoked a visceral reaction, like you felt it?
Um, like every book I read kind of does in a way. Right now I am reading what's it called? Moonsick by Tom O'Donnell.
Okay.
It's I hope I got his name right. I think it's Tom O'Donnell. It's like a YA werewolf novel. And there are a couple like the transformation scene. There's like one werewolf transformation scene that I read just yesterday, actually, and I was like, ugh. Yeah, definitely like a visceral
Good. Excellent.
reaction.
I try and link to all this stuff in the show notes if I could catch. I try and catch every single reference to things and try and link as much as I can in the show
Awesome.
notes.
I can send you. I'll double check his name when we're done, and I can
I
send
mean,
you
I'm like constantly just
information.
googling. I'm like
Yeah,
a name that I misheard or I didn't understand the. But Moonsick is easy enough to find. That's
yeah, yeah.
even if the name is a little bit off. So do you have a question for our next guest?
Um. Oh my. See, I am chaotic. I thought of one when you like put that on me, and now I forgot what it was. So I'll actually. This isn't the question I thought of, but um, somebody somewhere in an interview asked me what question I wish I got asked
Okay.
and never have, and it was like, what colors do you associate with your books?
Oh,
And so that's my question for your next guest. Like, what
that's a
colors theme?
that's such an interesting question.
Because each of my books kind of has a different one, I realized. So, yeah.
Well, what question? Well, okay. What color do you associate with Broken Trail?
Now, because of the cover, I feel like I go more sepia in my mind. But when I was writing it, it was a lot of like dark evergreens and blacks.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's also, I mean, it's set in the woods in BC where you don't really get autumn, at least not to the extent we do on the East Coast now. Um, and so it is like, it's very like evergreen, dark. You get a little bit of like rusty color of the pine needles on the forest floor, but yeah,
Awesome.
that's my color.
That's that'll be good. Um, I'm a lot of these questions I steal and keep forever. Yeah, and I ask for I ask in the future for guests.
I don't
Okay.
have copyright on that
You don't
question,
have
so
copyright? Okay, good. Excellent. I won't have to Venmo you for using the question in the future. So we are running out of time for this segment, and on to the last segment, the final
Last
segment of the
segment. Let's
show.
do it.
It's time for blood.
Oh
It's
wow.
time for trouble. It's time for struggle. For either a work in progress or something you've dealt with in the past, or it could be business, it could be like philosophical, it could be nuts and bolts, it could be anything. Does anything come to mind?
Just like a struggle, you mean?
Trouble? Yeah, whatever. We can talk about anything.
Okay. I gotta think. I mean, just time management has been my struggle lately because I just took on a new temporary position. So I'm working like a full 5 days a week now, which like, oh boo-hoo, I know most of the world does, but I used to have like large swaths of time to like work on my writing or do chores or whatever, and now I don't. And so like that's been a struggle. I'm constantly tired. Yeah.
My answer the past few weeks. It's October, so I've been doing so many events, and I'm just like I'm so tired. And I
Yeah.
just started this podcast, and I'm like, I'm reading books every week. To again, it's like, oh, boo hoo, you're interviewing a bunch of cool authors, getting to read their books. But yeah, it is still work. But I mean, you're not
Yeah.
the first person to say I want more time. I need
Yeah.
more time.
More
Um,
time and more sleep. That would be
oh
that's what
God,
I want.
yeah, I the when you wake up, my body sometimes I just wake up at 4 a.m.
Mhm.
and I'm like, can I go back to sleep? No,
Yeah. Yeah. You're like,
can't.
this is the wrong time. I actually another tangent, but when I was at the Powerhouse of Horror thing in Brooklyn, I was gonna stay in Brooklyn, but I decided to come all the way back. I live in New Jersey. I was like, it won't be too hard to make it all the way back on the train, but I missed the train I wanted to get. And then I had to get on like the midnight train, and then I got stuck on the tracks for over an hour.
Oh my God.
So I got home at like 2:30 in the morning, which for me is very late. And then I was up at 7:30. My body was like, it's time to get up now. And I was like, no. Like the night before, I was like, oh man, 2:30 in the morning. I'm sleeping till at least 10. Like nobody wake me up. No, I woke myself up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not fair.
I mean, is this connected back to the October challenge of trying to get a word in the like
Um
just try and like get some writing in while you're time challenged?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like it's funny though, because even my husband was pointing out that like I have written, I think, more words in October since starting this new job. And partly it's because of the challenge, but also I like do so much better when I have less time. I'm like, well, like on the days before I took this job, I was like, I have a whole day ahead of me. I can write whenever I want. And then I would still be like 9 p.m., like, oh, I haven't written anything. I better get something in. But now I have to actually like manage my time. I'm actually like fitting the writing in more because I have to be more intentional about it. So
I mean, that's sometimes those constraints. I don't know. It's weird how our brains handle that pressure.
yeah,
Like,
I was about to say like works well under pressure. So yeah.
I mean, it's the again another idiom. The if you need something done, ask a busy person.
Hmm.
That's yeah, that's it feels like, and I also like I don't know. Do you feel pressure to constantly be doing more to be like
Yeah.
saying yes to things?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I am a yes. I'm a yes sayer. I do like even just taking on this additional contract I took on when they first texted me about it, I was like, I'll call them back, but obviously I'm going to say no. And then she was like, you were the first person on our list. And I was like, yes, obviously I'm going to come work for you for the next 6 months.
Oh
And
no,
I hung up and I was like, what did I do? Like, yeah.
yeah, there's that. I think there's a lot of us that are like, oh yeah, we'll just do everything.
Yeah.
I'll have 6 jobs. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's
Why
okay.
not?
And
I
I
can
need to
do
write
it.
it, and I'm supposed to be writing a new book. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, in fact, I'll write 2 books at once. Like, why not? you
Do you
know.
can you do that too? Can you are you constant are you you said you were working on multiple things. Do you bounce back and forth?
Yeah, more than I should. I didn't used to. Like Broken Trail, I wrote on its own. Like it was just Broken Trail. Right now I'm working on a novel and it is just one novel, but then I'm also writing a graphic novel with my kid and then I'm writing
Oh,
a couple essays. So
that's
it's like
that's
very different projects,
I was
but
gonna say that's so writing comics is so different
yeah, I'm
from
learning.
writing prose. It's so
Yeah,
different. I
it's not easy.
I started writing one with an artist friend, which didn't turn into anything, but it was like still learning how to write for that format and to describe things correctly for an artist and like
Yeah.
especially limitations of it.
Yeah.
It's so strict. Like how much can you get in a panel?
Yeah.
What does a page look like? All those things.
I know I've had to do a ton of research because I'm like, it's like writing it almost like a screenplay, but not
Yeah.
because then you also have to list off like the panels and the pages and yeah, it's
I would say if you don't know who Rick Remender is, he's a comic book writer. He
okay.
has really good craft stuff. Um, I even steal some of his comic book writing stuff and use it in my prose and kind of structural stuff. But
Hmm.
he's a great writer, has written some great comics, but he has I don't know where I read it, but he's written down a lot of craft. Like here's how to
Cool.
this is the
Yeah.
trick for a lot of comics, especially how to the which is the was hard for me was like it's so contingent on the page,
Yeah.
like because it's left and right and you need people flipping pages. Like he talks a lot about that, and it's like you have to be very tactical, about how you're laying out the story and like literally talking about story
Yeah.
beats that are on the pages and
Because
stuff
the
like that.
panels that are on the same page kind of relate to each other
Yeah,
and yeah, like how you want to have
and
a whole
flow,
scene
like
on
it's
the page and not
yeah,
turn
and
the
you
page to get the end of it. Yeah.
you have to think so visually too. It's like so
Yeah.
much more visually driven. Um, what was I gonna say? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's okay.
It's that time of the afternoon when my brain stops working. Um, but I don't know. I think we're all doing battle with time management. I think we're all
Yeah.
pulled. Everyone I know is like pushed and pulled in a million different directions, trying to keep their heads above water.
It's hard to be an adult in this day and age. I mean, it
Yeah,
really is. It's probably hard to be a kid too. I mean, they have time demands also.
I I am glad I grew up before this era of social media. Yeah,
Same. Same. Yeah.
I that's the one thing where I'm like, I don't know how like you as a child deal with like I remember MySpace top 8 and
Yeah.
like that was pressure, but again, it was so small, it was so little, it was not like what Facebook is or what
Yeah.
Instagram is or
And
TikTok or whatever. I can't imagine those poor kids. If I don't have children, if I had kids, I would like not. I would be like I would. They'd be have the luddite, like no phones, no social media. I'd be mean. They'd probably be begging me for, Dad, I want a
that's what I
phone.
said too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, how far we've come. Yeah, no.
yeah, exactly.
My oldest has a phone, but
I mean, it's. I had a cell phone when I was a teenager. Also, I think that there's a part of that. Speaking to Broken Chair, where it's like you want. I think my mother gave me a phone strictly because she wanted
contact.
she worried about me. She wanted to be able to get in touch with me, or if I got stranded somewhere, I could call somebody. Like a thing that
Yeah.
they didn't have when they were teenagers.
Yeah.
Um, Broken Trail, December 9th.
Nice.
Go pre-order if you're listening to this before it's come out. If it's already come out and you're listening to this, go buy it. Easy as
Go
that.
buy it. It's
Easy
good. It's a
peasy.
good book.
Yeah, it's a good book. Um, Amanda, where can people follow you? Where can they find your book? Give me all the links. I will try and
Okay.
put all this stuff in the show notes too.
I'm mostly on Instagram, and it's bookish duck underscore author because why make it simple? Um, and that's probably the best place to find me. I do have a website. It's just my name, amandacasile.com, but I don't spend a lot of time or energy there. So yeah,
Yeah, that's everyone's.
Instagram is
That's the other. Every single author on here has been like, I have a website.
but don't go
Don't go to it,
there.
or it's okay. It needs to be updated. I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm in. Yeah, same. I also need to update my website. It's a pain. Thank you, Amanda, for joining me. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.